What up, guys? It's White Lightning here, and again, I want to go through and do a little bit more talking on basically the relationship and what I feel is important to realize when after something like this happens. So, if you didn't watch the last video, essentially, someone that I was with for almost 5 years, she broke it off with me, and we were engaged and all that. So, we had a lot going for us, and like right now, one of my biggest issues is I miss her and I wish she was still here and all that. And that type of thing allows you to make even more mistakes. Where like I did make a few mistakes. I have to express myself. Hence why these videos are even being made. And because of the expression on some points, they anger some people if they don't want to see it or hear it. And essentially that I ended up making it to where she blocked me on everything. So like I get the whole idea of even though I need to express myself, I need to also take in mind them in account as well. Hence why I've switched over to do something like this. I'm keeping it as neutral as possible, and I am not referencing too much and all that, right? Thing I want to actually mention more than anything now is if someone has to go through what I basically just did, which is, they instantly are with someone and they just leave and they're already with someone like with literally a few days after you guys broke up. You have to remember that nothing you say or do is going to matter. You can sit there and do anything and everything. They're in that lovey dovey stage, and everyone knows that stage. It's that early stage in the relationship where you guys are just in love no matter what, unless something big happens, etc. Right? Sometimes even something big happens and it just doesn't affect people. In their current relationship, they have something similar to that, and I'm not gonna go into detail on that. That'd be a little irresponsible of me. Essentially, what you have to realize is this stage is going to hurt you the most in a lot of ways. Because again, if you still feel the way you did for them, like with me, I still completely am in love with her. Anytime a picture's uploaded or something is said about them, it's going to hurt you more and more. And I really hope that you guys aren't sitting there and doing what my mistakes are and trying to actually look and see what's going on. And if you are, you're putting yourself through a lot more pain than you do. Just an FYI, I took my glasses off mainly because I thought it was affecting the video, and I didn't like the way it was reacting with light because I blew light on um, affection inside my glasses. So essentially, you gotta let time be time, and I know that's difficult, even for talking to the guy who's making a video after a week and a half. Like, I know very well it's very difficult to let time be time. It's really unfortunate that you have to, but you don't have a choice in the matter. You gotta just let it go. You can't. I'll give an example. She was still here when she broke things off. She had no way to get to him initially. I did everything the nice way. And what I mean by that is I didn't, I paid for most everything. I didn't restrict her from using my laptop or the internet or anything like that. I did everything in a way that was super nice. I still took her out. I still got her flowers to hopefully convince her to stay, or I still did things that were nice. Hell, I took her to the train station. Like, we're talking, I did everything I could to be nice, but in the end, since they're in that stage, it didn't matter. She didn't realize or see that, hey, everything you did was really, really nice and maybe deserve another chance. At least given the chance and the opportunity to go, hey, you could change. And that's where you have to learn and realize it's not going to change anything. You should do the nice thing. Don't do what a lot of people were telling me to do. Don't just kick them out or be mean, because that's not going to do anything good for you either. That just shows that, if you get hurt, you're just going to be a douche. And that's not right. But don't expect it to change. Halfway through when I was doing these things, I learned that it's not going to change anything. But I still want to do it because I still cared. like anything in any scenario like this, still care. Show that. Don't show, the true intention of you're just trying to win them back. Actually care. Show that you would change and do these things, but don't expect a change in them. Because, like I said, they're in that lovey stage. They're in that stage where pretty much nothing they do to each other is going to anger them as much. When they're out of that stage, be that friend there. Be that person that's there for them, even if you don't like the scenario. You don't like the fact that what happened, or you're pissed off at them. There'll be that person there. Because if you truly did care, you'll still care. It's the honest truth. I'm someone who actually fell in love and planned things out and actually had love for them and felt a certain way. I still care about her. 6 months from now, could I say I care for her? Yes. Can I sit here and say that I expect us to be this amazing couple if she ever came back? No. But I could sit there and say I would try, as I stated in the last one. Everything is always about being a nice person. I have big mistakes about that. I'm sometimes really not a nice person. I tend to be a douchebag in a lot of ways. But something like this shows that you can be nice and actually still care for them, even if they don't realize it. Like I said, she completely blocked me because I was trying to express my feelings. Yet, I still care. And, the moment something happens and something, you need someone to be there to help her, gonna be there. Don't care. It's unright for me to sit here and be like, well, too bad. I do still care about her. And I would hope anyone would still care about their ex, at least enough to be there if something really bad is going in their mindset. Bare minimum, at least be there and be like, hey, it's okay. You'll be fine. Okay? Just be there as a friend. Because obviously, in the end, you're always going to want more, especially if you still feel that way. But don't act on it. Don't make the mistake of trying to manipulate in a way. Manipulation is never the answer. Because what are you going to gain from it realistically? You might hurt her or them, whatever, or then you're going to be happy. That's why I really don't like how my scenario panned out. Because in a lot of ways, the way I feel about it is a lot of manipulation was gone into it. And in the end, I feel like it's going to come back and bite them. But that doesn't mean I'm going to sit here and not be there for her. Or even him, for that matter. Because, I don't know. I never really talked to the guy. I was never big friends with him. But if he needs me to be a friend, I'll still be a friend. Because, again, they are together. As much as I hate it, you have to accept that and be there for them more than yourself. And that's the big key point I wanted to make right now. Accepting the fact that doing rash decisions, doing things that aren't you, just doesn't make sense. Me being mean or doing all these mean things that I could have done don't fit me. They aren't who I am. And realistically, all the mean things you could do, they're never going to solve or to help you. They're just going to make it worse. So all you need to take from this, just don't do stupid shit. I hate that I say it that way. Be there for the person when they need you. Don't say you'll be there and then 2 months from now, don't be there. Actually be there for them when they need you. Because if anything else, you could say you at least helped make their day better. And bare minimum, that should be enough to make you happy. Yes, you may still care, you may still love, or whatever you may feel. But you have to remember, not your decision. Your decision is to show that you are still there. Your decision to show that if something were to go terribly wrong, you'd still be there. That's the decision you have. You don't have the decision to be in that relationship anymore or be a new one. And the moment you accept that, you'll realize that in the end, if they are meant to come back, you did everything right to show them that that coming back is worth it. And if that's not the case, then you were still a nice person. You weren't, mean. It helps show for future relationships or future possibilities that, hey, I do care. I'm not going to just turn on you just because I feel like you made a mistake. And that's the big thing to think about. As I said in the last one, she's watching this. For me, gonna know that. She's probably gonna be mad though, because obviously I'm expressing myself, but I have to do this because of the way I feel. Anyone else might have a different coping mechanism. My normal one isn't gonna work in this scenario. This hit too hard. And if you ever feel like something like this is changing who you are and it's hitting to the point to where you don't even know anymore, try to think of new ways to do things. Try to think of something that you can do to express what you feel. Because honestly, expressing what you feel is what you need. Whether or not you tell them or you express it just like this, you need to get it out so you can move on and so that you can be that person you want to be and be there for whoever you are there for. I can only speak for myself, but I can say what I truly think. And this is what I truly think. Being there for them is worth more to you than being a douchebag and just cutting all ties. In the end, if you truly felt the way you did and you truly care, it's not going to anger you. It's not going to anger you that you are having to be there for them, even if it's just a friend, because you still do feel that way. Honestly, you're going to feel good too. Because in the end, you knowing that even though, like for me, even though she blocked me and everything else, if she ever ends up coming and saying, hey, I need to talk to you about X, he just goes on a rant and you're there to listen, you at least know that you still hold a part of them, that they care enough to talk to you about their problems. Honestly, that's going to feel really good. My scenario may be 100% different than yours, but just knowing that they will still come to you when they have problems, especially when you're in a relationship like mine where it was long term, you're used to them coming to you for problems and all that, it's going to feel really nice. So essentially, don't be a douche. You don't obviously have to go the super nice route like I did. That's just who I am and what I felt I need to do. In the end, I just want to get the point across that do be there for them. There's obviously scenarios where, it's hard to do that, especially if it's something like a cheating or something like that. But you have to make that decision in the end. For something like this, where it's bad, but you still do care, as long as you care for them and don't want them to be in pain or in problems, be there for them. If anything else, it'll make you feel bright. It'll make you feel like you did good things. As I said, I didn't know if I was going to make another one like this, and honestly, I'm probably going to do a few more because I know I need to get some of this stuff out and allow time for me to accept the truth. But that's a whole nother subject, and I appreciate anyone that actually watches this in its entirety, or even just a little bit. I know it's not exactly the best person to be sitting here talking. Not like I'm in this great room or, doing all these things, but anyone who is willing to watch, listen to me ramble, I appreciate you immensely. If you need help, there's comments down below. I will do whatever I can to talk and help people out. Because I know I need to. This is something that hit me so hard that I have to do this. This is something I don't want anyone else to ever feel alone in again. Because that's what I feel right now. alone. So watch this. Thank you. Need help? Ask for help. Talk to family. Talk to friends. In the end, be there for the person, even if it's difficult. It will make you feel better in the end, anyway.